See here, this class will give you the complete information about virtualization, right? So before going to talk about virtualization, so first we need to understand the computer, the architecture. So what we call as traditional architecture. So like we have a hardware computer, hardware layer, then we are installing operating system like Windows and Linux, and the top we will be installing applications based upon your requirement. So this is called traditional computer architecture. So this level of layer, the order will not change it. So from the day one, the computer was designed, so till date we are following the same structure. But the when came into the market of virtualization concept, the virtual architecture, the same method they're following, but instead of the operating system layer, they'll be maintaining hypervisor layer. So to that hypervisor layer, we can create a operating system in virtual machine concept. So each virtual machine we consider as one computer. This is a single computer will be there. Okay, so that's a main topic, the difference between the traditional and the virtual architecture. So what we give the definition of the virtualization means the transformation from hardware into software. Previously, the operating system will be installing on the directly physical computer. Now we are installing on the software layer. That is called hypervisor layer. Right. Let's move to that. So how the virtualization works in the physical architecture. When we install the hypervisor layer, hypervisor software in the machine, it will create a layer called virtualization layer. That virtualization layer talks to the physical hardware and it will take in his control. So now whenever we creating a virtual machine, the operating system, whatever the configuration you needed, so based upon the below physical machine, the capacity, it will be allocated them. So example, we have a 16 GB of memory. When you creating virtual machine with a 2 GB of RAM, out of 16 GB, they'll be allocated 2 GB RAM for the virtual machine 1. Same way, if that we have a 1000 GB of hard disk, if this virtual machine required 50 GB of storage, from this physical machine hard disk, the 1000 GB, the 50 GB will be taking and will be assigned to the virtual machine 1. So this is a way the virtualization technology will works in the real-time environment. Now this virtualization technology is running behind the hypervisor software. So basically hypervisor software, it came into the market 1956. Okay, because of at the time the hypervisor was designed and the base kernel is nothing but it is a Linux operating system. Okay, so the first name was given by IBM Corporation. So hypervisor, it's basically it directly talks to the physical computer and it will run multiple operating system on the top. So that means we are managing the virtual machine. So also the hypervisor also we can call it as VMM, virtual machine manager. So hypervisor also called as virtual machine manager. So coming to that, so basically we have a two types of hypervisor will be available. One is a bare metal hypervisor, another one is a host based hypervisor, type 1 and type 2. So in type 1 means, so we have take the physical machine and we are directly installing the hypervisor and we're creating a virtual machines. This is called type 1 hypervisor. We have some examples like VMware ESXi, Citrix Zen Server, Microsoft Hyper-V, etc. etc. These are the example for type 1. So what is architecture? The hypervisor layer will be directly running on the physical hardware layer. Physical hardware layer. So what are the virtual machine we are installing? What are the virtual machine we are installing? This operating system we called as guest operating system. We called as guest operating system. Example, this virtual machine, this operating system we called as guest operating system. It is not a physical operating system because this operating system is running on the top of virtual machine. It's not on the physical layer. Okay, it is running on the virtual layer. So that means we called as the OS would be guest operating system. Any questions? Any questions, guys? No? Perfect. So moving to that next concept, it is a type 2 hypervisor. So like type 1, it will not directly run on the physical computer or the physical hardware layer. We required minimum operating system is required. So operating system means we have either Windows or Linux operating system we required. Okay, either Windows or Linux operating system required. So basically, if any operating system is running on the physical computer, we called as host operating system. We called as host operating system. So now the type 2 hypervisor which is running on the host operating system, we called as host based hypervisor. We called as host based hypervisor. Previously, it is running on the bare metal. Bare metal means a physical hardware. We called as bare metal hypervisor. So here the hypervisor is running on the any of the operating system. This operating system is running on the physical computer. Basically, we called as host based operating system. So obviously, this hypervisor also we called as type 2 hypervisor, or else we called as host based hypervisor. So from that host based hypervisor, we create a virtual machine and we are running the guest operating system. We are running the guest operating system. Basically, this virtual machine operating system is running on the third layer from the computer. Third layer from the computer. Example, the first layer is host based layer. Second one is virtual machine layer. And third one is operating system layer. Operating system means your virtual machine operating system will be running. So the examples in the market, we have a VMware Workstation, Fusion, Player, Oracle VirtualBox, Microsoft Virtual PC. So these are the best example for type 2 hypervisor. That is a host-based hypervisor model. So any questions on the type 1, type 2? Can I ask you one question? So any cloud, any cloud. So they'll be following type 1 hypervisor or type 2 hypervisor?
Type 1 hypervisor.
Perfect. So type 1 hypervisor they are using. Okay. Type 1 hypervisor they are using. So who is SK? Suraj? Who is SK?
Yes, Mahesh.
Okay,
It's
thank you.
Suraj.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now let's go to the lab, guys. So how to set up the lab. So basically, I have configured the lab how to set up. So the PPT also have available. I'll show you. Okay. So now you know why we are building that. So just we want to prove ourselves whether we're able to deploying or not. So now there are two types of lab you can set up, guys. You can go with your physical computer and you can install VMware Workstation 10 operating system and you can set up your lab, or else you can go with a physical virtualization lab. So guys, did you remember very long back, almost 1 month back, I have taken one physical computer and I install Zen Server operating system, Zen Server hypervisor,
Yes.
right? So this is a lab setup. This is our lab setup, my personal computer lab setup. But this time I'm going to explain VMware Workstation lab model. Okay. So this is a costly one. So this is a somewhat better. So with one computer also you can build your lab. Okay. So now This is a limitations. Actually, this slide is very old slide. Almost 2014, I built this. I modified this slide, but after that, I didn't modify it. At that time, there have limitations, but there is no limitations. We can do all kind of practices. So now I'm closing here. I want to set up the lab now. Okay. So in my computer, VMware Workstation is already installed. Please see here. The VMware Workstation is a software is already installed. You can go to your VMware site and you can download it. It's completely free. But I'm going to install ESX server on VMware Workstation. On VMware Workstation. So normally VMware Workstation on real time. So basically your ESX server will be installed on physical computer, right? But I am installing on the VMware Workstation because of a practice purpose. Because of practice purpose, I'm installing. So now what I'll do, I'm going to install VMware ESX server on VMware Workstation. First, I need to check we have a sufficient free space is available or not. As I have a 223 GB is free, and I'll check my lab. Good. I have some AD machine is already is running. So later point you can check that. Now I'm going to run ESX server. ESX1 I am going to create. Okay. ESX server. This is a bare metal hypervisor. I'm going to install it. So first you need to check the softwares. What are the softwares are available? Go to softwares, cloud softwares. Sorry, not Windows OS, VMware. So I have all type of operating systems are available, 5 and 6. Huh? So in 5, can I check that VM VMware 5.0, 5.1, 5.5? I'll directly go to 5.5 guys. So because of is a stable version, so for that reason I'm installing this one. So I have a VMware 5.5 is available. So I'm going to install it today. So create a virtual machine. Next, browse the VMware 5.5 VMware. Next, the name is ESX1. Locate the actual folder. Next, storage is taking 40 GB. I make it 50 GB. Store virtual disk as a single file. And now it's taking 4 GB of RAM. That would be good. Click finish. Now I'm installing ESX server. So this is the installation is going now. Yeah, Samir, I think, are you there in the class? So it will take 3 to 4 minutes for installation. It's a very easy installation. Okay. So there is a message is coming. Do you want to continue or you want to cancel? I'm continuing that. So now I want to accept the end user license agreement. Now this is a 50 GB. I'm giving the storage for ESX server. Hit enter by default US and giving the password welcome at the rate 123 welcome at the rate 123. So that's it. Password also set for ESX server. Normally ESX server is a physical server, but I'm installing on the VMware workstation. Please don't mind. Okay. So F11 for installation. So it will take another 2 minutes. So after installation, it will ask you to reboot the ESX server. So we are setting up the environment today. So like there are at least there are two classes. Okay. Possibility I'll create it today. And I need one more server is required, Windows server. Okay. So I'm installing the Windows operating system. Okay. So that is for vCenter. So the vCenter server is which is used to connect VMware environment, that is a ESX server management. Okay. So for that reason, I'm installing 2012 R2. Okay. 2012 R2 I'm installing for this server. What is the name? VC5. Okay. VC5 server. I'll be creating in the same location. And it's taking 60 GB. Okay, leave it. Not a problem. It's taking 2 GB of RAM. Uh, I would make it 4 GB for a better performance. So ESXer installation is completed. Now I'm entered to reboot the server. So meanwhile, we will the Windows machine also we will set up. So now the server is ready. So now I'll be giving the internet connectivity for this server so that I can able to access remotely. Fine. So now I'm logging here and give the password cloud at the rate 123. Sorry, welcome at rate 123, right? Now this is a configure management network. So just I'll restart the management network. The IP address will getting from my router. Still it is showing 00. Yes, I got it. So 207. 207. How to access? Go to browser 192.168.0.207. Advanced. Proceed to save. See this. Do you want to connect this server? Yes, we can connect, but we need a client. So we need a client required that is called vSphere client. Just you can download it. Okay, this is a 358 MB, right? I think I have already client is available 5.5. See, it's almost 47 MB. The file will be available. This is a command line interface, right? So let's download, and I'm installing this. Maybe in this machine I already installed this kind of applications. Let's check an add a remove program. I think no. So software is downloaded. I'm installing that.
चलाएंगे 5 मिनट
So installation is complete. Now we can refresh and we can check this. So let me connect to the client. So what is the IP address? 192.168.0.207. You can check here. Okay. What is the username? Root and password is ignore. Run this installer. Where it is downloaded. So there is a problem is behind the vSphere client. So I'll fix it. Don't worry. It's a kind of Java error. Okay. So meanwhile, I'm waiting for vCenter server. If vCenter is installed successfully without any issues, we can connect it. Yes. I'm setting up the password is welcome at the rate 123. Welcome at the rate 123. Fine. So my Windows machine also ready, but only one pending item. So I need to install VMware tools. So it's kind of drivers for a virtual machine to perform this. Because of the console is small, so without drivers tools, some functions will not enable. I'm installing that also. How to install VM tools? Right click on the tab, install VM tools. Right, VM tools are loaded. Now I need to install. So basically what I did previously, what are the VM tools are there? I downloaded all the VMware tools and I save it my system. See here, VMware, VMware vSphere client, all the versions. So from 4.0, 4.1, 5.0, 5.1, 5.5, 5.0, all the clients are installed it because of sometimes some clients are corrupted and it's not working properly. So for that reason I have downloaded. So VM tools installed successfully. My screen is looking big now. So I'm restarting the services. So I have a AD mission. So guys, you know what is AD? So we already seen in Active Directory in AWS, Cloud Active Directory. The same way in my lab, I have a dedicated Active Directory is available. Okay, fine. Uh, Let me check that the machine is working or not. So I have a physical Active Directory also available in my lab. So that actually I have removed from the network. This is AD. Oh, it's TDC is opened. So nowadays, if you want to set up the VMware lab, at least minimum required 16 GB plus, so that we can able to build our lab. So 8 GB is not sufficient. So and don't waste your time, guys. Okay, and just you can follow the videos. That's enough. And if you set up this lab and all, it's taking long time. Unnecessary time will be waste. See, the vSphere client also installed successfully, and the cloud migration lab, the completely is taking long time, at least minimum 2 to 3 days. Okay. Even last time also, I have trained one of the batch. Two people are left. So because of why we are teaching VMware. Okay. I don't know why the people still they're thinking like that. So without on-premises, how can I migrate it? Tell me. Right? It's not possible, right? I need on-premises. So I want to recreate on-premises lab. Then I want to migrate the missions from my computer to cloud environment. So last time I had a bad experience with one of two candidates. So they're both are friends. So they finally they're talking each other. One guy was already is negative and he spread it negative to the nearest one. So these both guys are talk to me and so you are teaching VMware. So we are not willing to stay here because of we already looking for AWS training. Yes, you always welcome to go back. Okay, so that I sent out. So be patient. So you want to set up the VMware lab completely. So then we want to migrate it. So this is one of the big project you can explain in interview. Okay. So example, you're writing some points in your resume. So basically, like I did migrations like a 2012 servers and 2016 servers and 2019 servers. What are the blah 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 you're giving in a resume? But the interviewer will ask you, so can you please explain your architecture on your on-premises environment? What are the steps you are taking, and you are migrated the virtual machines to the AWS EC2, right? So if I'm setting up entire lab without showing you, so I'm directly selecting the virtual machine, right click, migrate. Okay, it will take 30 minutes or 40 minutes or maybe 2 hours or 3 hours. It depends on the network speed. So you simply you're watching like movie Bahubali part 1, part 2. Finally, Rajamouli symbol will be showing like the end. That's it. The virtual machine will be migrated and you'll be seeing on the EC2 console. That's it. So you want to configure from the scratch level. So from the lab, you want to recreate your lab. So Microsoft Hyper-V lab or might be VMware ESX server lab or might be Citrix Zen server lab. Any lab you want to build on your on-premises, create a virtual machine, and that virtual machine you want to migrate it to AWS EC2. That is called migration, right? But that's what I'm showing you. So at least one more day we required to configure this entire lab. Okay, the remaining part. So this is a DDC is nothing but my domain controller. Okay, let's see what is my domain controller name. Cloud. Fine. I don't know password. Let's try. Yes, it's working fine. So today I'm stopping here. Okay, I'll show you how to connect the ESX server. So I'm directly connecting from vSphere client to ESX1, right? So how the console will be looking like, you can check here. So in the next class, I'll be adding the vCenter 5 to domain controller member and I'll be installing vCenter application. So from the vCenter application, again, I'll be connecting to ESX server. So finally, I'll be showing the enterprise environment. Finally, I'll show you enterprise environment in the next class. So in the third class, I'll be doing the migration. Okay. So this is a step. Totally 3 steps we are following that. So now this is our hypervisor. Now we are creating a virtual machines on the EC2 console, right? So now you are running on this place, but backend is running on like this. AWS region, in the region we have availability zone. They create a data center like this. At present have only one server, but in AWS have there are so many hypervisor servers are running. Okay, so from there, by using the EC2 console, you're simply creating a virtual machine. Let's think about the vSphere client console is nothing but your EC2 console. Okay, that's the only difference. So now see here, you can right click, create a new virtual machine. So in virtualization we called as virtual machine, in cloud we called as instance. That's it. So in the next class I'll create a new virtual machine, and that virtual machine I'll be migrated to cloud environment. Guys, any doubts?
Mahesh, can you provide us steps for this process so it's more clear?
More clear? Okay.
Yeah.
The first question is set up AWS. Sorry, we have to set up on-premises environment. Okay. Prepare data center in your local lab. So first, ESX server install on physical server. So normally I installed, sorry, we installed in where? Workstation, right? VMware workstation. But we should not do that because of due to lab crunch, we are installing on the personal computer. Next, create one 2012 R2 server for VMware vCenter server. Okay. Third one, join the vCenter server to domain member. Fourth step, what is the fourth step? Install vCenter server. Then fifth point, connect to ESX server through vCenter with a vSphere client. So this is the step I need to do that. Okay, these are the two steps I need to do. So these are the 5 steps we want to build our lab. Okay, so I pasted there. Please copy that steps. Don't worry. So after the end of the class, I'll share you first 5 VMware class videos. Okay. So previously I was teached VMware classes also. So I have some videos with me, a couple of batches videos. I'll share with you. Okay. Until VM creation, until vCenter installation I'll share with you. So just you can follow that. Okay, that will give you more clarity. I think Mahesh is today is not joined. I think he has already videos. And do you have anyone have that VMware videos, guys? No, right? So don't worry, I'll share with you this weekend. Hmm.
Sir, hello.
Yeah, tell me, Rohit. Sorry, Samir, tell me.
No, no. Yes, sir. I have downloaded the VMware in my laptop,
VMware?
sir.
Samir, your voice is not clear.
I have already downloaded. I got a link.
Which one?
Can you hear me now, sir?
Which software you are
VMware
installing?
15 Pro.
So VMware workstation you're talking? Okay.
15 Pro workstation 15 Pro.
Okay. Okay. Okay, Samir, we'll talk offline. Okay. Your voice is not clear.
Oh,
We'll talk offline. Okay.
okay.
Yeah. So uh, that's it for class today, and we'll continue.